Oh my God, what have I done? Why is this for lunch?
These are bamboo worms, a staple of the Hmong diet in Mukang Chai, a delicacy in fact, and as skin-crawling as they may be, they're a vital part of what makes bamboo so significant in the hillsides of these Hmong communities.
Okay, so sort of get it in, sandwich this knife, crank it. Oh my God, what? This is definitely the opposite of appetizing.
Cultivated by every household in these remote mountains, encouraged to propagate within a grove of bamboo for the sole purpose of being eaten. And that's why I'm here.
I'm telling you guys, it should be illegal to come to Vietnam in October and not come to Mukang Chai. Nowhere near as touched by tourists, just magic.
After immersing myself in the breathtaking beauty of these terraced mountainsides, I've been longing to experience life in a village that gave birth to such awe-inspiring landscapes. The Hmong communities perched atop the hilltops. And so Pao has taken me on another exhilarating journey to the mountain's peak, where we discover the town of Mang Mu.
This is one of the coolest Hmong villages I've ever been in. It's only maybe 2 or 3 kilometers from Mukang Chai itself, but we're at the top of a mountain here.
We hike around, sliding along muddy paths.
A lot of the people walk down to the village. It takes an hour or even 20 minutes by motorbike, just because of how steep and narrow the paths are. The village here is mainly just dirt roads, bamboo forests. It's just beautiful up here.
In this place, bamboo is not just a plant, it's a way of life, an integral part of their self-sustaining agrarian lifestyles. Pickled bamboo shoots from these parts are highly regarded all around Vietnam. But I'm here for something a little bit more daring. Bamboo worms. Pulsating and white, they bear a striking resemblance to bamboo itself with their segmented bodies. Technically, they're a caterpillar. These creatures burrow inside sections of bamboo, residing in a black sludge, until the day they emerge as a rather boring-looking moth. But not in Mang Mu. Here, they are a prized delicacy. Few of these worms reach moth stage in these parts. They are enjoyed by everyone. They even tried to serve these things to me at my homestay the night before the shoot. Not gonna happen.
Pao has just explained to me what's going on. We're sort of looking at this clump of bamboo, and he can instantly point out this one there has bamboo worms inside of it. And essentially he's able to do it because once these worms start growing inside, from what I understand, that segment of bamboo is growing a little bit smaller, and there's also a small hole that the worms have dug into the side that doesn't heal, and that I imagine is how they breathe. But that's not how he's instantly picking it up. He's picking it up first just because that segment of bamboo is noticeably smaller, at least to his eyes, than the rest of that tree of bamboo.
And so I find myself in Mang Mu village, embarking on a quest for the bamboo worm. Pao takes me on a leisurely stroll through town to explore the village and scout out various bamboo groves. And man, is this village mind-bendingly beautiful or what? This place is an untouched, fairy-tale-like village that seems to exist today not much differently than it would have 100 years ago. It's the kind of Hmong community that you yearn to witness. Or perhaps it's just me that hopes to experience this kind of thing.
You could not get a Kubota tractor up here if you tried, so all of the rice is harvested 100% by hand. And that's crazy when you see just how many rice fields there are up here, just how steep these slopes are, and just the sheer amount of acreage that is turned into rice on these steep slopes. It's crazy that it's all planted and cut by hand.
In this village, modern or machine-made clothing are a rarity.
So this skirt that's here is kind of a demonstration of this kind of mishmash of mechanized and traditional weaving, fabric making that the Hmong people do nowadays. So on the face of it, it looks kind of machine-made and manufactured because there's just so much detail. But they're pointing out to me that this top section that's been sewn on, these large bits of drying indigo hemp that are hanging along the side of the house here, and that this bottom bit is part of the embroidery that we see here. But it's entirely handmade into this skirt. It's pretty cool stuff.
Even the Vietnamese language here is uncommon.
Con này nói được tiếng Việt không?
No.
No.
Yeah.
Nhưng mà how old is you? Có bao nhiêu tuổi?
Cậu phải sao nào? Gần 50 tuổi.
There's no concrete houses. Instead, you'll find traditional wooden homes, each entirely self-sustaining. The air is filled with the aroma of drying corn, pigeons, ducks and hens and even some pigs roam freely. There's freshly made hemp clothing drying in the sun of every household and a buffalo next to each home for ploughing the fields in the spring. And all of this serves as the foreground to some of the most breathtaking views you can imagine.
I don't think that any of this is ever going to come across on camera, but these views on these mountain passes, man. So as we're walking around this Hmong village, I'm noticing that all of the houses have a sort of similar setup. They have a section of roof or of, bamboo structure like this that I'm ducking under right now that is growing either bitter melon, winter melon, or pumpkin, some kind of melon-like structure.
And then of course, there's the bamboo. It's a versatile and vital resource, used to structure part of the homes, for crafting utensils, furniture, and traditional instruments, and of course, for food. In the rituals, ceremonies, and celebrations of the Hmong people here, it is used to craft the traditional mouth organ called the Cang. This instrument, with its bronze reed, continues to be widely used, connecting the Hmong communities to their cultural heritage and provides a soundtrack to their lives.
Pretty cool to see. And I am really enjoying it. What are you making this reed out of? What material is this?
Dong.
Bronze. Yeah, so this is the reed, and I think it's made out of just like a simple bronze. That's now I'm never going to be able to do it. When did you learn how to make this instrument? How many people can make it nowadays?
Bạn rất nhiều lần bạn ở mấy hang này bạn ở mùa dê xong rồi có cái này chích là phải múa cái khăn chích.
Does he make everything himself?
Nhưng là hai người đó là ba ngày không có ai làm đó là vợ nó cho con nó biết làm.
What makes a good organ?
Có nghĩa là một cái tốt là ông vừa làm vừa.
How does he know which bamboo has the right note?
Đấy.
Có nghĩa là vừa làm vừa sửa, vừa làm vừa sửa.
How much does one of these organs sell for?
2 triệu rưỡi đến 3 triệu.
2.5 to 3 million. It's like $150, something like that. Are the young people also learning how to make this, or is it just the old people now?
Đa số là những người lớn tuổi.
Do you worry that less and less people are learning how to make this instrument?
Thôi không sợ đâu. Con nó từ sau con nó đi học hay con nó biết làm rồi.
Okay, thank you very much for this interview. Hotel.
We make our way to the home of a lady called Bla. She's graciously allowed us to harvest bamboo worms from her grove. The sheer number of worms here is astonishing.
Guys, holy shit, this is some of the most insane and skin crawling kind of gross shit I've ever seen. I've got to admit, I've eaten quite a lot of insects at this point in my life. It does get a little bit easier, but when you see a piece of bamboo bust open and it is teeming maybe with these bamboo worms, caterpillars, whatever they are, it's just not that appetizing. That is wild. I cannot believe how many there are in this single pod. Once we busted this thing open, I started to get that knot in the bottom of my stomach. Somehow I have come to a point in my life where I have willingly decided to eat these things. Oh man.
And as we carefully collect them inside a section of bamboo, my appetite wanes with each passing moment.
Grasshopper feels like candy compared to this. This is a gross creature. All right, let's see if we got lucky. Okay, so Power's given me the honors of slicing this bad boy open. Let's start by getting rid of some of these sprouts that are on the side. Okay, so sort of get it in, sandwich this knife, crank it. Oh my God! That is so gross. I mean, this is the mother load. I don't know, there's gotta be close to 100 of these bamboo worms in here. I think the grossest bit is that they are crawling around in their own bodily fluid, some kind of watery, black substance. Anyway, I always try my best to be open-minded in these situations because there is a reason that the Hmong people like to eat these things. And Pao has reassured me that these are not just good they're great and that they're good eating food. And I have been surprised by insects before when they do have a surprisingly good flavor. Is this going to be one of those times? I really doubt it. Yeah, it's going to be a lot. It's just, oh man, it's going to be pretty tough. Em thích ăn con này không? Anh hơi sợ.
Ngon mà.
Ngon mà. She says, don't worry, it's going to taste delicious. I am a little bit dubious. Okay, so with the help of Pao and Blah, we now have this one section of bamboo which is absolutely loaded with hundreds and hundreds of bamboo worms. You might not be able to see it, but in there is lunch. So now we're gonna go and cook it up.
Pao begins the cooking process, treating the bamboo worms much the same as the grasshopper. Simmering them with lime leaves and spices for an extended period of time. I take the opportunity to explore the property. Blah's home, like the rest of the village, is a breathtaking farmstead. It offers awe-inspiring views. To my surprise, Blah speaks a decent amount of English. Having studied briefly in Hanoi, her family lives a life deeply rooted in tradition, and yet there's one stark contrast. Blah's side hustle involves selling bamboo shoots on TikTok. It's a jarring reminder of the rapid pace of change in Vietnam, even in the most remote and seemingly untouched communities.
Okay guys, the bamboo worm has been cooked up. We're here with Pao, Blah, and Alec is Blah's son, 10 months old, same age as my son. This is a really beautiful farm home she has here. She's been nice enough to let us have access to some of her bamboo worms. There is some delicious looking food on the table. So let's try it. Pao, how do we eat this?
Chỉ cần cái này ăn thôi.
Okay. Yeah, it's pretty easy. You just pick it up and you eat it. One thing I noticed instantly when I pick it up, it is just like, it's super light. Alec, do you want to try some? Alec's gonna try one.
Oh yeah.
Which means if he can eat one, I definitely have to eat one. And it is far less intimidating like this than it was once it was crawling around in the bamboo. Should we try? Hang on.
Yeah.
Hang on. Okay. Wow. Huh. Pretty good.
Ngon không?
Cool, huh?
Ngon không?
No? Yeah, I wasn't expecting that. You never really know with insects, although obviously fried insects are much easier to eat than live insects. You very rarely get that sort of gush and that liquidy flavor and texture. But this has, yeah, almost like a popcorn-like texture to it. And again, what really comes through is the seasoning. Strangely enough, I think I actually prefer this to the grasshopper. Check out ngon hơn gao gao.
Cái này ngon hơn.
It tastes like popcorn. I don't know what else to say. That's the craziest thing. And it is surprisingly good. It's fried in here once again with, I think, some lime leaves. I'm gonna eat one more, get a final sort of flavor of these, and see how we go. Man, with the lime leaf, it's just good, period. This is just good food. I'm super surprised. But in terms of insect rankings, when you saw this thing first live in the bamboo, it just looked really gross. But it tastes really great. And now I'm quite excited to try some rượu táo mèo.
Dạ, rượu táo mèo.
Rượu táo mèo. Mom nói gì?
Trong phòng kho.
Bông kho?
Phòng kho.
Bò kho?
Dạ.
Okay.
Phòng kho.
Bò kho?
Dạ.
Oh wow, that is really not like cider at all. I thought it would be more of a traditional cidery flavor, really sweet. The apple itself is sweet and sour. This is not sour at all. It just has a bitter flavor to it. And now I'm getting that real like warm belly type feeling that you get from a spirit. Is this made in the same way you make rice wine?
Rượu táo mèo thì mình nấu rượu bình thường, sau đó thì mình để quả táo vào trong cái chung, sau mình đổ rượu vào.
So maybe that's why it's so alcoholic, because they basically just add alcohol to the apple juice.
Yeah.
How often do you eat this?
Thỉnh thoảng.
Thỉnh thoảng.
Mà có bạn sang chơi thì mới mang ra nhậu.
And what's the context for eating this? Is it kind of like a side dish, or is it a dish you eat when you drink? Why do you eat this?
Mình ăn giống như một cái món cho bạn nhậu uống rượu ấy. Nó gọi là như cái mà mình có sáng mình chặt tại cây về ấy.
It really is kind of like a party dish. You just got some of these worms lying around in your house. Your friends come, you get some drinks together, And there it is. It's the popcorn, it's the salsa, it's the side, it's whatever you guys drink with. Here in Mang Mu, Bala, how often do you eat this?
Thường là đến mùa thì chồng mình sẽ đi bán về cho con với mọi người trong nhà ăn.
So this is a seasonal food. It's only available this time of year?
Yes.
Is it really common for people to eat this worm?
Có, cái món này phổ biến vì nhà nào có tre á, thì đều có. Không được đi ăn trộm nha, phải đi xin. Nếu mà đi chặt của nhà người ta thì phải đi xin.
I actually noticed that. Like when we were walking around, we were asking a lot, like whose bamboo is this, whose bamboo is this, you know, so it's kind of like it's your bamboo, then it's your worms. Blah, where did you learn to speak English?
I learned English in high school and in Hanoi.
How long did you study in Hanoi?
4 months.
4 months.
Yeah.
And then you came back here.
Yes.
Why?
Đến dịch Covid nên là họ về nước rồi họ đóng cửa, không dạy nữa.
They don't teach anymore. Oh, that sucks. Chị có thích sống ở thành phố hay là ở đây?
Ở đây.
Ở đây hả? Tại sao?
Kiểu không khí trong lành hơn, cuộc sống bình yên hơn. Mình không thích xô bồ.
I like it here as well. I think I could live here. I heard that a lot of young people are moving to the city now. Is that true?
Cũng có một phần.
Họ đi làm xong Tết họ lại về.
How has Mang Mu changed since when you were a child until now?
Nó cũng không thay đổi nhanh chóng.
But it must have changed a little bit, no? I see like now there's some, like you have a spot here for photos, there's tourists coming. It must be a little bit different, no? Or it's just quite similar?
Đó là một sự thay đổi.
So that's the only thing that's changed. Look, I've got to admit, that's kind of cool though. Usually when I ask what has changed, people say everything is changing. It's changing so quickly. But when I look at this village, it's true. This is one of the villages that I've been to that it feels like everything is still done in a very traditional way. Everything still feels very old school, for lack of a better word. Pal, thank you very much for bringing me here again. This one was really, really nice. And Bala, thank you for letting me into your home and sharing some of your bamboo worms with me. It's really a surprisingly delicious dish.
You're welcome.
There's something symbolic about Mang Mu in my mind, symbolic of the current state of Vietnam. Mang Mu embodies the fascinating juxtaposition of tradition and modernity Vietnam currently enjoys. Some of this community don't even speak Vietnamese, while others run e-commerce stores from social apps on their smartphones. Thank you for watching, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this video on the bamboo worm and kind of just bamboo everything. Up here in Mukang Chai, they seem to use it for a whole bunch of stuff and it's all kind of delicious, at least in case of the bamboo worm. Anyway, if you enjoyed this content, please give me a like and maybe subscribe. Thanks for watching. We're gonna get out of here before this storm rolls in and stops us from getting off the mountaintop. Goodbye.